what's your reporting on my college coach who was out interviewing with the Chargers Monday? What do you have?
Well, again, we got to rewind in order to understand what happens going forward. He thought 2 years ago when he packed up, the day before letter of intent day and went to Minnesota to interview for the vacant head coaching job with the Vikings, he thought he was getting it. And he didn't. Last year, he wanted the Chargers job. That was my understanding a year ago. He wanted that job, but obviously it didn't come open. The Broncos interviewed him at a time when it wasn't 100% certain they were going to hire Sean Payton. So Greg Penner, the CEO of the team, flew to Ann Arbor to meet with Harbaugh then. This time around, the team he was very interested in coaching last year has interviewed him. The question becomes how many other teams decide to pursue Harbaugh, and does he work out a deal to stay with Michigan? The reporting from Dan Wetzel of Yahoo from earlier today about the Michigan negotiations, that's kind of ominous to me. It sounds like Harbaugh is making a request there's no way Michigan can comply with, which makes it easier for him to feel like he's walking away with a clear conscience. This is the year for him to go back to the NFL. He's won his college championship. He's said that he's got unfinished business in the NFL, and he's going to have maximum leverage and presumably maximum interest. When you look at what he did with the 49ers, you look at what he's done with Michigan, how do you not at least have interest in talking to Jim Harbaugh and possibly bringing him in? Because he's going to turn around a bad team quickly. That's exactly what he did with the 49ers.
Well, I mean, put your legal hat on and explain, if you don't mind, to my viewers and listeners, the exact conundrum. What is it? Indemnification if the NCAA comes in and smacks down Michigan based on something Jim should have known but didn't know with Connor Stallions. What is exactly that legal best issue that is kind of holding up that you say Michigan could never agree to, is what you're saying?
Here it is, as best I understand it, based on Dan Wetzel's reporting.
Yes.
Harbaugh wants immunity against being fired for any type of NCAA sanction that might be imposed based on the multiple pending investigations. Now, if he just wants to be guaranteed his money, that's one thing. They could easily agree to that. Fine. If we have to let you go for cause because of something the NCAA concludes, we'll still pay you to not coach the team. If he wants a guarantee he's still going to be the coach, that's problematic, because what the NCAA does, Rich, they issue to schools and to the coach what they call a show cause order, which means if you are going to either continue to employ or hire this coach during the term of the show cause order, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, you've got to show cause to the NCAA. In other words, you've got to justify, you've got to explain to the NCAA why they shouldn't come down on you right now and punish you aggressively right now for touching this guy that they've essentially blackballed. It's a fancy way of blackballing someone that the NCAA has used many times over the years. So if they attach a show cause order to Jim Harbaugh, Michigan's got to fire him. Otherwise, the NCAA is going to come down on Michigan like the NCAA maybe hasn't come down on a football program since SMU. Not that it would go that far, but their hands are tied once there's a show cause order. So if he's looking for a guarantee he's not going to be prevented from coaching, I don't think Michigan can agree to that.
Well, I mean, and again, but you also have to understand if Jim has, I guess, the ability, or Jim is wondering if the NCAA is on the up and up with him anyway. You know what I mean? Like that.
I'd want out if I were him. The NCAA is an inherently corrupt organization, and in my opinion, and I would want out. The whole structure is a device for allowing the various member organizations to engage in blatant antitrust violations by refusing to compensate players, and for decades refusing to let them even go make money off of their own name, image, and likeness. It's inherently corrupt, in my opinion. I don't want to get me sued or you sued, but I can understand why Jim Harbaugh would want nothing to do with any NCAA member institution after what he's gone through the past couple of years.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.